Okay, so I hope some people here are going to listen to this, hear it. I'm not going to tell you what to think. I'm going to give suggestions. And the key suggestions is to become open-minded again, open your brain, listen to some of the things I'm going to say, and just think that I may not know it all, you may not know it all, and sure as hell, media and government do not know it all. So I'm going to give some opinions and information in a very short period of time right now on something called COVID-19 and hydroxychloroquine and some other random thoughts. But just be patient with me because some stuff has to get said. Fact is, right from the get-go, I want to say this. We do not know the efficacy of hydroxychloroquine. We are still figuring all of that out. What I can tell you, based on every bit of real research that is out there, is that the side effects pale in comparison to its potential upside. We had some doctors come forward that we all know about now to speak on its potential of its early use in the onset of COVID-19. These doctors have been slammed, demolished in the media, and it's caused an even larger divide in this country. This week's great separator of people, it's not mass this week, well, it still probably is whether or not to listen to actual doctors giving their specific successes using the drug mixed with azithromycin and zinc. To those that don't want to go through all the hundreds of trials and research and what's going on right now, I've got you covered because I have exhaustively. I'm losing my mind. Once a patient is at the level of hospitalization, high risk, comorbidities, it's not showing much success. It's not based on early trials. And it's comparable to those that are not receiving the drug. So I get it. It's not showing a ton of success. With that said, there is very little research except family doctors on the ground level treating patients in the early stages. People are saying, where's the research? Where's the data? I'm going to shed some light for you. Research takes time. It takes money. And right now, those that are treating patients on this level are simply just trying to help their patients by getting a drug off label that is considered safe by the FDA. And they're having a high level of success, or so they have said, which is all we can go on right now. Doctors have been coming out saying this for months, and they're constantly being censored by privately owned media sources such as Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, which should make you start to think. And again, they're a privately owned company. Granted, they're publicly traded, so it's kind of iffy, and they have considered become media. So is it censorship? Not quite, but regardless. So to me, as a free thinker, I think anybody should be concerned, or at least thinking something might be up. Many in the worldwide studies were halted, actually, for a period of time on hydroxychloroquine by, well, one of them's the Lancet, but I just want to be very clear. I'm not saying it's the end all be all. I'm saying, why are they silencing everything around this so much? Might I add, since I've posted a couple things last couple days, I've actually started getting a little bit of censorship from Facebook, warnings to other friends of mine in conversation that I might be part of a scam, and taking down some of my posts. Shadow banning is very weird stuff for me, because the one thing I do is be very clear that I don't know it all, and I'm just providing information. So with that said, how is it that worldwide studies were halted for a period of time because the Lancet, which is a very prestigious medical publication, posted findings that hydroxychloroquine was causing increased mortality? That would make a scary thought even bigger. So, okay, this is what everybody wanted to hear. This drug is causing people to die. However, complete bullshit. So right now, some of the 3-month studies are now 2 weeks behind or more of where they should be. And this is actually where they should be coming to an end because of this fraudulent study. So why is this now retracted study important to look at? Well, how does a completely bogus study by a doctor that has multiple malpractice suits against him in the last few years, that was essentially on the way out of the medical profession, get a platform to have a study with a shell company that is then posted by a incredibly prestigious medical publication? I don't want to have to spell it out to you, but if you can't see what's going on and what this drug is up against in order to show proper research, this makes it obvious to somebody like me. Something is awry. Something is wrong. My opinion, the narrative being pushed is, and I see on some cases, is remdesivir. It's actually showing success. But according to NPR, and it's showing success at a later level once it's more hospitalization side. But according to NPR, it's looking at a price tag of over $3,000 per treatment. It's showing some success in trials, but it has more severe side effects than hydroxychloroquine as well. It's also almost 200 times more expensive. Yes, almost 200 times more expensive. That's $3,000 in comparison to under $15 for hydroxychloroquine. I challenge you to do me a favor. Look up this very basic research. Look up people that have died from using hydroxychloroquine. Just That should be the issue. Take away the mild side effects. Look up how many people have died, because right now we're trying to have people not die from COVID, and we are trying to use a drug that if it doesn't work, great, we'll learn that. But if it's dangerous, that's the issue. Is it dangerous to people dying? So look up people that have died from using hydroxychloroquine. You are not going to find much. Most I found was a 17-year-old whose parents gave her high amounts of hydroxychloroquine without medical oversight, and not taking into account that she was already incredibly sick, had multiple comorbidities, and a weakened immune system. She was immunocompromised. That's the one story that I flat out found. Second, find me one family physician, doctor, family level care, low level doctor that's on your street corner that has been able to fight through bureaucratic red tape, and use hydroxychloroquine off label on patients, that has stopped and spoke out about its lack of efficacy, that it is not efficient, hasn't worked. I cannot find one. And we're in an age where we are silencing every doctor that's saying it's working. So that means it should be super easy for doctors to come out and say, yeah, I've been using it. I'm not talking ER docs. I'm talking your daily, everyday street corner doctor that is finding a way to prescribe a medication on the early level patients. Why does this bother me? I've got a friend right now that's in the really bad state, and he spent 7 or 8 days just kind of being sick, and then it took a turn for the worse. He might be the type person that it would have been like, if there's somebody to test it out on, this would have been the dude. So it bothers me because I don't know what's going to happen with him, and I have become close. I'm telling you, this is why, to me, this is an issue. So I found the 17-year-old in terms of the one that died, and then I have not found a single one, and I'll admit if I'm wrong, if somebody else finds one, but find me one doctor that has used hydroxychloroquine on its patients on a home level, day level, or whatever it is, like a small doctor's office. You're not going to find anybody unless it popped up today, because I haven't found anything to this point. Okay, so the doctors in the ER and ICU level and doctors in high-level political positions that for the most part don't see patients on the ground level anymore are the only ones that are truly, truly speaking out against it. When they're asked about the dangers, they talk about heart rhythms and eyesight issues. That's about it. So again, and they're all very mild and actually can usually actually tell which patients are going to have these issues, and that's why it's important to go through a doctor. So again, I ask, why do we not allow doctors to speak on their success? It makes zero sense at this point, and to me, that is telling and dangerous. Please think about it. So while these doctors are a little bit on the kooky side, the American frontline physicians, a little bit nuts, I get it. They're a little bit out there. Right now, if you want to be a doctor that comes out against big pharma and are able to actually want to say these things, you have to be a little bit crazy, because the last several months, doctors that are coming out, unless they have a huge following, are being silenced, their license being threatened, they're being threatened with losing their careers, losing their jobs. So you got to be a little bit on the baddish crazy right now in order to come out. So one doctor is being slammed for his early opinions on herd immunity, which, might I add, the whole country of Sweden was attempting to qualify in the beginning. So it wasn't completely outlandish. It was just against the norm, especially in our country. And this whole time, we talk about how we're consistently evolving in our opinions and our thoughts, and not even opinions, but facts about, not hydroxychloroquine, but about COVID. We are still learning on a daily basis. I saw something new come out today, like, oh, we didn't really know this. We didn't think about this. Things are happening daily. So if he evolved as a doctor and he's now going, you know what, herd immunity is not looking like a great idea. Let's go ahead and see what else. Oh, hydroxychloroquine is working in my office. I get it. It's called evolving with the illness, which is what we are all doing in a short amount of time. If we're all trying to save lives, if people are trying not to die, that makes sense to me, personally. Now, then there's the crazy, weird, nutso doctor, Dr. Stella Emmanuel. Very odd practices. No doubt not going to fight anybody on that one. She has some absolutely insane beliefs. However, she is a board-certified doctor, and the more you dig into her background and her past, the weird tweets, demon spawn, sperm, I don't even know what the heck. It was a lot. You actually need to do some looking, a little bit more about her. You'll learn that where she is in Africa, this is actually a common belief system from exactly where she's from, and religion to them is number one. So is she nuts, or is her culture very, very, very different than ours? let me also tell you, she spent the last 20 years using hydroxychloroquine to safely fight malaria, which makes her qualified to know the side effects and how to use it. She may be odd, but I am not going to discount her in any way, shape, or form. One other doctor is an ophthalmologist that also has a medical degree at the same time to operate regular medicine. Important to note that one of the main and rare side effects with hydroxychloroquine is vision impairment. So he's not a doctor to discount when we're talking about this hydroxychloroquine. Two of the other doctors I looked up, very highly rated in their respective clinics. Also, if they haven't been scrubbed from the internet, just know that they have been actually incredibly, they're good, they're decent. I looked it up. And then you say that, here's the other thing. This is a high-paid stunt from the Tea Party Patriots, potentially backed by the Koch brothers. Cool, I get it. Yep, everything's backed by somebody these days. Not a huge fan of that, but as I said, it takes money to get your face or voice in front of people right now. And right now, they're facing against something that was able to get a study in the Lancet to slam something completely falsely. So I get the whole Koch brothers thing. In order for a platform to be that big, as I mentioned before, you need the big money. That's all I can say. At least we know where it's from. At least it's not hiding. We know where the money's coming from. We know that it's the Tea Party Patriots. We know that it's probably a far right group. However, doctors are doctors. So we still don't know who got the bullcrap article in that Lancet published, and I can almost completely certain it took a whole bunch of money to get that doctor to say something and the Lancet to publish that crap. Truth about masks, by the way. Let's start talking about that. So that's my hydroxychloroquine. I don't know if I'm going to continue to talk about it in the end, but I'm almost done. Truth about masks right now, they help. A little. But since we're so afraid of people mistaking the information out there and they're saying, well, we got to take these hydroxychloroquine videos down because people might take the information incorrectly. Let's talk about masks because we're doing a lot wrong in terms of the way we present masks. Our message on masks is far more dangerous than allowing doctors to use a 65-year-old FDA-approved medication. Why? Because simply wearing a mask is far from perfect. Surgeons and ICU docs, nurses are wearing fully fitted, fully face shield and sealed masks. Masks give a false sense of comfort and peace. When they're using them, they think that it's a force field, especially when they're yelling at people for not wearing them. It is not a force field. People think that they're all of a sudden shielded from all of the world's dangers. This is incredibly dangerous. CDC, WHO, and almost every sensible doctor will tell you social distancing is just as, if not more important, and with how poorly we wear a mask, the most important thing, to be honest. So the whole idea that masks are the end-all, be-all is creating more danger. That should be a message that is silenced. I can tell you from my personal experience with friends, and this is just my personal, I'm going to give a small group, and you can possibly ask around to your friends that have had COVID. My friends that have contracted the illness, 3 of the 10 are the people that wore the masks the most. These were the biggest mask wearers. These are the ones that freaked out. They were avid mask wearers. And one of my friends that's currently vented and in a coma was mask person number 1. I'm not saying not to wear a mask. I'm saying thinking that they are the end-all, be-all is incredibly dangerous. So please don't think I don't know the severity of the illness. As I'm talking about my friends that are incredibly sick, I'm taking it incredibly serious. I'm saying as a whole, I'm a mask wearer. So the I'm better than you, I'm better than you because I wear a mask is absolute lunacy. And to think that a narrative that says wearing a mask is saving your life, just wear masks, that's it, is insanely more dangerous than let's test some hydroxychloroquine to see if it works on COVID. So to sum everything up, we're in a world where we are all yelling, let's do everything. Let's stop this illness. What can we do? Let's pull out all the stops. Let's get a vaccine in our hands as fast as possible. By the way, faster directly implies a lack of long-term research. Just throwing that out there. So let's shut everything down. Let's get the vaccine. Let's just whatever. Let's do everything in our power. Shutting down the system, shutting down work, shutting down schools, scientifically, by the way, causes economic issues that are leading to a much higher rate of suicide, loss of life with other illnesses, afraid to go to the doctor, and that's also becoming an issue. People are dying because they are afraid to go to the doctor right now because they're told not to unless they have this issue, that issue, and they're dying of things that could have been prevented. So why? Why in the world that we are begging to come up with something that can help. We're not allowing doctors to come forward and tell their observed success. That's our issue. In fact, supposedly, some of the exact research was about to be posted on the Frontline Doctors website. And fun fact, that website has now been completely shut down by the internet because of some violation. I think it was Squarespace that she posted on. So the website's gone, and nowhere is the research currently able to be posted. Somebody suggested, why don't they do it on the dark web? I don't know if a lot of doctors know about the dark web. Personally, I know a lot about the internet. I don't go to the damn dark web because I think it's nuts. Whatever. Mistakes that were made in that symposium. I want to be very clear, they made some mistakes, and that is probably why they found a loophole to be able to remove it. They were saying it's a cure. That is statistically, categorically, factually false. It is a potential treatment showing early onset success, and a lot of it. Why are we all of a sudden slamming a drug with successful retrospective studies from Ford Center and with a 65-year-old track record of safe use, and it's approved by the FDA? I challenge you to just think about it. Just think about why this is an issue. Stop hating on the believers of it. People are so hell-bent on blaming Trump for downplaying the illness and giving false claims. First off, I thought about what if the first couple of weeks he didn't show any positivity? In the beginning, where everybody's like, he was saying that nothing would happen, we'd all be fine. What if he went out there and said, I'm not gonna lie, looking at this, hundreds of thousands of people are gonna die from COVID and there is nothing we can do about it. We're gonna do the best we can, but who knows, this is gonna be horrible. People would say, oh my God, he's so morbid. He's turning this into political and he's gonna spin it as not his fault. There was nothing right that he could have said from the get-go. And I'm not telling you to be a Trump supporter. I'm not even saying that I am. I'm just saying nothing could be said in the beginning of whatever this year was. That is my opinion. My opinion. I speak solely for myself on that one. Please think for yourself. And if you disagree, that's fine. There are plenty of reasons to agree. So please, for the love of God, be kind to people that believe that this drug has a little bit of potential. Be kind to people that are questioning masks and the danger of them. Explain to them, you know what? I know it's not perfect, but it'll help. Let's do everything we can. If we're throwing darts on a dartboard, let's keep throwing every dart we can. And if we know that something's safe, why are we shutting people up over it? That's my 2 cents. Please be kind to people. I know I just got heated, but this is driving me nuts right now because if you can't see what's going on, it's a little off right now. I don't know what to tell you. Ultimately, they're finding a way to divide us for every possible little thing we do. And this one is, oh my goodness, you support doctors that say that there's some hope. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Share this video. Who knows if something like this will get... I don't know anymore. I really don't. Open your eyes. Be willing to learn. Be willing to learn. You admit you're wrong. I'm more than willing. I've learned about the studies in hospitals. I know it doesn't really show any good there. Just start using some deductive reasoning and really, really open your eyes. And if you're going to post about stuff on Facebook and social media, know the whole backstory, because I'm getting really tired of correcting incorrect facts. I'm not telling people they're wrong. I'm correcting facts. Be the change you wish to see in the world. Be kind. Sorry I have a little upset today.